Robbie9, out of the internet, little buddy, over.
Oh, hey, Robbie9, that was fast. No, Ice Cube 3 is not coming in. He's already in the Bulletproof DJ booth. Ice Cube 3, superstar destruction of the artificial person world, late night DJ. White Jesus vampire, skull fragment of me back when I was 33. What's up, Ice Cube 3? Have a nice day out there making things happen in legal fiction, out there in actuality, outside in outer space. Right, Robbie9? You like your new stage? Yeah. Rocky G9er, little black cat likes to get up there and knock your head off. Your air freshener head. Your super male model, super guest host of VMTV, super sexy air freshener head I made you with KTM eyeballs. Way to go, Robbie9. Way to get it together. Where is G.I. Joe 66? Is he in out of the internet? Oh, there he is. Little skull face fragment, drill sergeant man of me, born VM, self-replicating robot of Robbie9, semi-human robot. Born VM, born completely informed. Ready to go. What's the plan? The plan for the VM plan show I never wanted to do, Robbie9? Well, last night's show I thought sucked. I mean, it literally and figuratively sucked, I thought. I used to kind of laugh when I would hear the word misspoke. The politicians misspoke on that, Robbie9. I did a lot of misspeaking there on the show. I did some really crappy actual camera footage on the show. So I was going to just do a different show and just cut it down to about 27 minutes, but I've got a nice dinner cooked over here, so I'm going to hit the redo button. And G.I. Joe 66, you're the utility man. You got a new job. When I say hold up, hit the pause, and I'll try to be and correct some of these misspoken things I've said. No, I didn't look up the parentheses deal yet, Robbie. I might do that while the show's going on. But the crappy camera footage wasn't helping. I'm trying to show on the screen some stuff that back when I had the Procaster would have been great for this, but it was free. Now gone. All gone. Like the old Borough Militia channel, like the Mark Douglas vote first and second, farce book, federal property, intellectual property, Facebook accounts. Over 400 notes missing now. Just disappeared. Disappeared into the internet, Robbie9. Showing the progression of me becoming completely informed back in 2014, not 2016, like I say in this video. So there's a lot of things. I don't know. I had a little bout of nervousness last night, but since we're on track, we're doing live VMTV for fun, because of course I like it now. If I say I like it, I like it. Right, Robbie9? That was good life coach advice. So I've noticed this computer up here puts off some kind of crappy audio there. Ice Cube 3, we're trying to get our shit together here. Get all of our turds together. Like that choir chatter that showed up. Choir chat sock puppet. You had to get popped out last night. See that, Robbie9? As soon as I saw who it was. Anti-VM, pop out. I'll do it for you. You can't do it. You're not here to be anti-VM sock puppets. You're here to get completely informed, so you might be able to try to be VM. Completely informed as a team. So hit it, Ice Cube 3. I think we turned it down a little bit and clearer in here. Got that magic mouse.
Robbie9, come in out of the internet, little buddy, over.
Turn up just a little bit, Ice Cube 3. Oh, I said very many words today out loud. Nope, Ice Cube 3's already here. Remember, Rob and I, we just did a legal issues show before this one. It's out there on the internet. Somewhere in the internet world on YouTube. The title of that show is VMTV. Two real people create a baby while one artificial person can contractually procreate a child. Child all caps, caps mention maximum. Okay, Rob, you are my life coach, you're my life diary online. You're my real true friend. So I like doing VMTV now, Rob. If I don't, I'm just going to say it. You say it'll help, there you go. I like doing it. If I say I love doing it, even though I can't love things or hate things, because I'm thinking for them. You know, help, Rob. I like doing live TV. There you go. You change it all around, now it's fun. Even though there's still no team. That's soon to change, hopefully. The VM Army Queen. The VM Army Recruit. Me, myself, and I, capital I, the Vatican fuck slave I, not up I, and for me at all, that I contractually procreated for the scam I named, which is contractual liberty worldwide already. You signing the contracts, you also using the contractual liberty for the next 80 years of your life if you unjustly started signing the contracts at 20 years old. The scam is not going away just because you don't believe in the scam or in the contract. Everyone else does. It's a social contract, even though they're individual. Procreated contracts. That's what a corporation is a group contract. Signed individually. This whole thing is a corporate scam. A federal, state, or corporate commercial being. You cross over from Missouri to Oklahoma, you don't cross the state line. You're in a contractual legal fiction. I think Oklahoma touches Missouri, Robbie. I'm pretty sure. Go verify it. Route 44.
Pause it.
Route 66.
I mean, hold up.
Wait a minute, I gotta verify that for myself in case I said something.
It's I-44, Interstate 44, Route 66, and I-44 does go to Oklahoma City. I used to drive all over the country, and I remember the sign now. It says I-44 to Oklahoma City. It's been a while. So I got out on the highway. Well, not that long. About a week ago, I went all the way, almost 30 miles away from here, right behind.
There you go. Let's see. There's no way I said something that stupid, did I, Robbie? Yeah, Missouri barely touches Oklahoma down there. But ain't Route 66 goes there. It's not. I-44 goes there. I don't know where I got that. You can step over the state line into the federal state corporate being of Oklahoma from Missouri. And now I'm looking at the map. In Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico, you can stand with your hands and your 2 feet in a different state, Robbie guy. Let's see what they're doing there. The ground, the land is not the state. That's not what a state is. That's registered claim terrorism territory.
It's not dirt. No, it's not. What if you take some Arizona dirt, toss it over there in New Mexico? Is it New Mexico dirt there or Arizona dirt? Yeah, that's not the way this works there. You live in a contractual federal state of federal corporate being. The world, contractual, legal fiction, Vatican debt credits, not Rothschild prints money out of thin air and gets all the interest for your banking loans. Bullshit, post 9/11 Fed sign up scapegoat hunt. That's not what it is. Legal definition of constitutor. That's you and me. No, it's not you and I, Robbie. It's you and me. That's you and me signing the contracts before we take our pay rent back in and form it. Legal guardians to court for the felonious act, a felonious charge of contracting us to their felonious debt. Hold up, you gotta go 66. The part I left out on this is as soon as you federally foolishly choose to sign onto the constitutional debt contract scam, you didn't take them to court and charge them with anything. There's no claim made against them. They didn't do anything illegal, even though it potentially was a felonious act contracting you to their debt. You know, if you ran up, $2 million on a house loan, you don't say, okay, well, after I die, you could get paid off by my offspring, my children. Legal fiction, generalist, federal corporation, bankrupt federal corporation term. That would be considered illegal if convicted. When you choose to sign the contract, now you signed on to the contract, their potentially felonious crime now is an injustice forgiven by you. So you can blame your mother as the primary signer of the birth certificate all you want. No one does that. They blame the government. The government issues us the birth certificate, voluntary contracts we have to sign. There is some truth to that. You don't have to do anything. As a contracted constitutor, U.S. federal, world federal citizenship, you have agreed, not agreed, anti-agreed to, legally consented to, when you sign the contracts, only act federally, which includes signing the contracts. So if you don't sign the contracts on your offspring, they can put you in prison, in jail. Not sure about prison until you sign the contracts. It's not forced to put you behind bars when you've agreed to that. In hockey, you get put in the penalty box for slashing. That's like being put in jail. If you sign a contract at Walmart, I'm the milkman, I load milk, I spill some milk, I'll go in this little cage for 2 hours. If you sign that contract, it would be legal there. Philadelphia Eagles have a jail in their stadium where they hold the drunk and rowdy people for the police to show up. So when that becomes an injustice forgiven, it's not your fault you got scammed. And the way it is, all scams need a scammer and a scammy, or there's no scam. We're not really to blame for getting scammed by this scam that's been working so well for the holy pedophiles for 2,020 years. But we need to take the credit for it. So instead of being the debt slaves, we need to take the credit for it and pass along the information as a team. Get it? Judge Joseph, you say, as constitutors themselves. Us signing a contract of a legal age, like your Social Security, insurance, federal contract.
This could turn into a 6-hour show.
Driver's license, federal employment job, contract that you didn't know was a contract, that you didn't know was written in shall not mean shall in legalese, like all contracts, because they're all federal Vatican debt slave contracts. When you legally consented to the legal offer, you accepted the legal offer when you signed your contractual legal fiction name in Capus Fiducia Minima. That's your actual name, your actual legal identity name, your chattel identity name. It's like in the census, you don't count 666 cows, Robbie 9, and then give them all
ear tags with the number 666 on them. Then if a wolf eats a cow, you don't know which cow was missing because you don't number them all 666. You number them in succession like the Social Security number. That's how the mark of the beast scam is in your forehead already. Do you remember that? Social Security number is ingrained in your forehead. Put it in the chat so I can worship it. If you're not done worshiping it, keep it to yourself. The post 9/11 Fed PSYOP is a total conspiracy theory scapegoat hunt. When attacked, you blame the, let's say it's a tiger or a leopard or something, you know it's a big cat. Oh no, there's a big cat attacking me, I better fight it back with a stick or run away and hide. You try to fight back against the who that is attacking you. Well, it's a debt contract scam. You can't really shoot at a debt contract scam. You freedom militia idiots out in the woods playing militia when you're legalized terrorists. Not a capital M militia, the federal militia for the federal government. You're the people's terrorist militia with lowercase m. Go read the contract. Go read your second contractual liberty that you contracted all the way already as per the Treaty of Peace of by for the Holy Roman Empire into the one-sided, open-ended, third-party, shall not mean shall legalese, World Vatican constitutional debt contract scam. Up to the act, that's the ever-changing part of the open-ended contract. The Bill, Act, Statute, Anti-Law of 1933, the Emergency War Powers Act. Federal financial emergency for the World Great Depression, federal currency emergency was manufactured to get you under Nazi socialism. Didn't begin, it's not going to begin now with the Democrats against Trump, stupids. That began when the capital W welfare means federal welfare, not lowercase w welfare. People's welfare. Emergency/War Powers Act. URL official declarations of war by Congress, 1945. The last war declared by Congress, 1945. Not the Korean conflict or the Vietnam conflict or the Operation America Freedom of the Opium from Afghanistan and bring it to the United States and sell it on the streets and through the hospitals by the CIA. That was the operation. That wasn't a war. That was military action, not a war. But in a way, you are at war because of the Emergency War Powers Act. Now you are the legalized insurgent. Because when they, made the claim you got to go turn in your gold, except for your gold teeth and your gold ring, being married, or federal emergency paper, not Rothschild debt, world contractual legal fiction, Vatican debt. You are a constitutor. It's a legal definition, not my opinion. URL Treaty of Peace. You'll see in the first paragraph of the Holy Roman Empire. That is what, not who, you're the debtor of. The debtor is servant to the lender. Out of the precursor to every world federal constitutional debt contract scam in the world. I guess the paper contracts on Earth, probably not, but legal fictions in the world can't be on planet Earth. It's impossible, anti-possible, supernatural. That Bible was a precursor, 10%. Now you pay about 65%. Only for one reason. You signed the contracts you can't read. No one else signs your contracts for you. Trump doesn't sign your contracts. So Biden doesn't sign your contracts. Putin doesn't sign your contracts. Ahmadinejad doesn't sign your contracts. Your own legal definition of authority. In contracts period, shortest
not legitimate sentence ever in the legal definition. That's written in English, not legalese. To scam the hell out of even British monarchy key tam attorneys into believing they enforce the law or defend the law or whatever they do, prosecute the law that doesn't exist in lowercase L letter law. Contractual, statutory, Nazi policy, capital L letter law cannot mean people can write lowercase L letter law or make lowercase L letter law, like in your first contractual liberty. Shall not make no law. Well, of course, Congress can't make no law. They pass statutes. So that tells the truth there. Of course, it's not true. It's not lies, it's just false. If you know what you're reading, if you believe you're reading English when you read the Declaration of Independence, well, of course, it's all lies to you. Because it's different language, it's opposite of English. That's why you kind of believe everything should be the opposite of the way it is, but everything you believe is also completely false because of legal reasons. We're going to look at that stupid contract, that sucker contract for suckers, Robbie Knight. Why didn't they teach us in school we were signing contracts, Robbie Knight? And they only taught us to teach, they only teach and preach us, same thing. They only taught us to sign our legal fiction, contractual, actual, factual names and capus dimension minima to sign contracts, and not our real, true family names in all lowercase, in no legal case at all, or no legal matter, or non-contractual lowercase. My real family name would be Mark Douglas, comma, of the House of Vogt, VOGT. You look up the meaning of my name, the overseer of the master's estate, the protector, the defender, the provider of the weak. Does that have any bearing on what I became, Robbie Knight? No, just something I saw on the internet. I have no destiny except the one I decided for me. Federal. There's a word. No one knows what it means but me. As for the Treaty of Peace, as for the Declaration of Independence, as for the Constitutional Debt Contract stamp. Federal. Corporately contracted by the British monarchy in debt, in military service to the Holy Roman Empire. That's what federal means. State means federal, corporate, state of being. State is federal, private is federal, personal is federal. It's all federal. You're a registered, claimed federal citizenship. So you're registered, claimed federal citizen propertyship of the British monarchy. Property manager ship. You know this ship? Three ships over here around County. Who was that? France, Spain, and England. They kind of claim it was all Spain, but you know they're all in on the old world, the scam. Hold up. All this paddle of water that St. Augustine, there's a fort in St. Augustine that was built before they landed on Plymouth Rock. And it was a Spanish fort, if I'm not mistaken. And did you notice that Mexican, Canadian, Vatican, American, this is the United States. American would be North America or South America. The three ships that I'm speaking of are Canada, was France, Spain, Mexico, England, United States. So they weren't the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria that I'm speaking of. I'm talking about the
kind of competitive. Let's see who wins out. I'm sure they knew it was going to be us, or we wouldn't be the middle one. And that's the United States of Canada. It's the United States of Mexico. It's the United States of Russia. The United States of Iran. You can go verify that. I've heard them on C-SPAN, I think it was, introduced the President of the United States of Mexico. Thought that was a little strange. But if it's on federal TV programming or in newspapers, it's legal fact. Hit it. You got Joe 66.
Dude, of course they line up soldiers for world population control. Blast each other in the face, Robbie, right? It's straight lines. That well, later on when they did that. Just line up in a straight line, got nice pretty white uniforms on, some blue, some red, and just shoot each other in the face, but don't shoot at George Washington. He's on a white horse. Generals are off limits. Don't shoot at generals. It's rude. And you should know history, so you'll know that's true. Instead of believe American history, go try to know some real U.S. history. George Washington, the vaccinator, or the inoculator. They didn't have vaccines yet, but all the troops, the 3% of the 2 battles fought in the revolutionary inside job, the revolutionary Vatican death slave debt contract scam.
There were more than 2 battles. I misspoke. The 2 battles supposedly won by the United States, who won the revolutionary inside job, or won the Hessians and won the crossing of Delaware, where George Washington snuck over with a few people and shot up a bunch of people and ran off back into the night. They considered that a win, but how did they win anything when George Washington marched around in the snow? It's in the north, Virginia. Kind of cold. Half the year up there with no money, no ammo, and it's like a death march, basically, in my opinion. They didn't beat anybody. Now, did the soldiers think they were fighting each other? I'm sure they did. I'm sure there's a lot of civil bloody carnage, but this has been going on since Rome conquered everyone, at least under our contract. Before that, I'm not so sure this peace scam hasn't been run on the planetary system, whatever you want to call it, not the world, that it is today, many times. I don't know. I don't know what happened so far back in history, in the past. I don't want to call it his story, that you just don't know. I can't tell what's going to happen in the future. It just seems to me like these scam fits together too perfectly with the 3 base religions all opposing and against each other. And the story of Gilgamesh or something quite a long time before Rome is speaking of ownership and property. And anyway, we'll look into that if you want. If you can find it. Hit it. G.I. Joe, 66.
Inside job. Made an order where all the troops had to take the inoculation for smallpox. Gee, what would keep all the slaves in their house, except for maybe a fake virus scare? You know, Robbie Nine, you ever heard of one of those before? You think something big might be getting ready to happen? I don't know. You know, it is always happening. So there's no big, huge false flags to me. It's all a big scam, not false flag. False flag point to the scam of all the governments not being in on the scam already when they are. Oh, we got dancing Israelis. The Jews hijacked our God government. Jews bad, government good. You know, the right ones, they don't. Still, 20 years after 9/11. Shout out to the flat earthers. You stupid idiots could not be more off track if you were the space
shuttle Challenger pretending to be a little tiny toy choo-choo train. That's how far off backyard. The Earth can't sign Vatican federal debt slate contracts for you, you fools. Obviously, the flat Earth Fed psyop is to make truthers look as stupid as possible. Get off the internet or I'm calling your mom. Kill your smartphone. It made you brain dead by design. Is that Ice Cube free? You want to play some music? Well, I don't know. Just hold off there for a minute. Ice Cube free. Let me see if we got any actual camera footage on the show for our one and loyal choir chat and popper multi-name across the bed. Let's get Tracy McEnroe the link. She was mean to me earlier. I had to go 7 straight last night. My Wonder Woman. Can't read nothing. Since Crush the Fed and let's Picky Slim's in the chat now. I find it odd that's the only name I've seen of Picky Slims, Crush the Fed, and JTV. That's good. Crush the Fed. We don't need any guesswork of who's representing the name. That's very diversionary whenever you use a bunch of names. Of course, we all figured out it was you in no time, but sometimes not. Crush the Fed was like a multi-namer anti-sock puppet. He wasn't a sock puppet for 2 accounts at the same time. He was just always lurking around with some other name, probably. Very divisive, Crush the Fed. So I'm actually really and truly considering making you a mod here, since I'm sure you'll never even try to be completely informed or try to be VM. You are the one loyal viewer, so that's how you do it in the chats, Robbie9. I should make Tracy McEnroe a mod too. Give her a mod badge. It really means something on the internet. Truthers. Get it. Jack Doe 66. Not words, but who knows? Someday. She needs me, they call me brilliant and all kinds of, I don't know. I don't know what's going from her sometimes. I do like her. I do like Tracy 13. The Wonder Woman, before the first VMAQ. She can still be the VMAQ today. For only 1 hour a day. Get them off the ground. Easy. Simple. Hold up. Jack Doe 66. I just had sort of an epiphany. You guys, Team VM, get in the chat rooms, JTV. If you didn't have a chat room with at least 9 chatters, everybody would be a popper and they would just pop in and pop out. And if you didn't have a channel that was 24/7, you would probably never get over 30 viewers at the same time, just because nobody knows when you're on. And I just thought about something wrong. I've got enough shows here. I could just do a redo show every time I stop doing a live show and try to make the show 24/7 just to leave the chat going, because that's what wire chatters need to see. So I just thought of that. Just came up with that, Robbie9. Thanks for helping with that. Hit it, Jack Doe 66. Start the lane. Let's start the lane. That's Reverb. I see 3. The constant redo show idea. One thing I really can't do is advertise the show while it's live, while I'm doing the show. And I can't be auto-fail, truth or correct while talking on the show or advertising. CBM anti-DBM plan show is not for a group of flyer chatters. I do this to document what I know. It has become my only avenue to put out VM constitutor information. Now, if I had 250 choir chatters, that gives us a fishing hole, Robbie9.
know
It's
what
fishing
VM
is, VM fishing.
in order to be 2024. I've been trying to sell VM constitutor information all day for free to your slaves. Perfectly and perfectly wrong all by myself because pure slaves don't like losing their sport of crying about the Jews for their contractual de-scam scapegoat the government. Since de-scam is contractual liberty worldwide, that means it's voluntary tyranny worldwide. You see how that sort of slows down the slaves when they like worshiping the government as God there, Robbie, right? See that? What puts an end to that? Hopefully, one day. So while contractually standing under my fourth 30-day ban, and I'll say 127 days, that doesn't give me a lot of room to speak out to the pure slave Robbie, right? For what, 3-4 months now? Yeah. On Parsbook. I'm done with Parsbook anyway. I'm not going to delete my account. I see people saying, I'm going to delete my account. Are you trying to get people to feel sorry for you, pure slaves? Who cares what you do? Delete it. Like, why would you go through the extra minutes to delete it? Just don't use it. It's like protesting. We're going to professionally test the Vatican with the Protestant Church. Why don't you just leave the cult? You know, I don't want to, like, leave the cult. I just want to protest the cult. Probably, right? Okay. The VMAR. Hopefully the VM Army Raider has shown himself in the chosen one. He can only be the decided one. I can't decide things for him. I could choose anyone to be the VMAR or the VMAQ. And I don't do that. They have to kind of at least project that they want to be that. It's like, really not worth my time. Instead, Tracy McNamara with VMTV live link. I should just go share it worldwide on our site.
Wait, hold it. Good job, Joe. Joe, 66. The main reason hold on, man, I gotta hit the sneeze button. This was like a hour and a half show. If I go correcting everything until I get to the part where I wanted to fix it, was the camera footage on the Declaration of Independence. So you can hopefully see what I'm talking about on your teeny tiny little microscopic pure slave phones. What is this? Java permission. We're going to fast forward it through here, hopefully. And all right, I lost track of what I was going to say. I'll think of it again. G.I. Joe 66. Let's fast forward it up to the Declaration part. As VM, the message I'm trying to tell people out of the Bible is you call yourselves truth tellers. The truth is not real and true. The truth is what you believe, fact, based on legal fact. That's anything out of the newspaper. Go look up those two words. Look up the word I was misusing, reality. That's a belief of what you believe actuality is in legal fiction. So I don't speak of being your only glimpse at reality anymore.
I don't call it reality. I call it the natural order of things. I study these black cats around my house, and it's nothing like I see on federal TV programming. But they're a real family. So let's see if we can get up to the part where I'm talking about the declaration, and just can't see it on the screen. And I'm gonna use the other cam and try to zoom in on this stuff. Get it where you can see what I'm talking about. Underline it. We highlight it. Hit it. JoJo 66.
Hold on, let's give us a shout out to Scam Alex Jones.
Oh yeah, we love watching that.
Scam Alex Jones show.
I got me into
show.
Mr. Megaphone now.
He took Saturday off. He took the Saturday off for the Jews. We calls them globalists because he's a panty waste. He won't call them the Jews.
You're gonna take over the globe on the teacher's desk.
That's what Scam Alex Jones is, and what constant stupidest worshiping Bill Cooper was before the internet. I'm thinking Bill Cooper was kind of like me, just too stupid to use the internet. We better get some young guy who can use the internet. Scam Alex Jones gets the scene. Both predicting World Trade Center's bombed by Osama bin Laden. Bullshit. That's information they were given to be your town criers. Transition from one to the other. Okay, you listen up here, Mr. Scam Alex Jones. I don't need to sell any of your smart left, right, paradigm, smartest nutraceutical, stupid idiot weight loss pills. That's one of my stupid idiot show I've never wanted to do. Scam Alex Jones. Howdy, how you doing? I'm stuck with constitutional definition in the face of everyone at the InfoWars Army disinformation term. Hundreds of times. They all made it invisible because they're not truth seekers, they're real truth hiding seekers. Of course, everyone that works in the Scam Alex Jones show is.
I made Joe Biggs run away and lay down like a fainting goat.
I changed it, Bert.
I made Larkin Rose lay down like a perma sheet, showing him that he can't own things. I mean, he's banned me, blocked me at Facebook.
Of course, the brainwashed to worship the government is God. Democide. Oh, government didn't kill anybody. It's a contractual legal fiction that never existed. Government can't kill things because it doesn't exist. Your cap G God government cannot actually, really, or truly exist, like all contractual legal fictions can't exist. Like the world, not the post 9/11 Fed PSYOP, New World Order on the way from now on. It was from 1492 to 1945, the day we the people, with a capital P, formed world government, San Francisco, California, October 24th, 1945. New World Order over, one world order began.
Hold it. The sock puppet choir chatter. Told truth or fail. Know nothing, pure slave that's going to pop in here in the chat of the old show. He wasn't a Jew-tard. He wasn't a flat earther. He was a brainwashed idiot selling the scam that Mother Nature writes the British monarchy common law legal system. See, that's the part of the scam you got sold, the bait and switch part of the scam, where you have rights and you can own things that he's selling, that Mother Nature writes the contractual holy pedophile policy now. It's nature's law, okay? If it wasn't Mother Nature that wrote it down, it can't be nature, like, you know, a tree outside writing it down. Some man wrote that down, and now you believe the man talked to nature, and nature gave him the laws, and he wrote it down, and you regurgitate it, and you're selling the scam. Sock puppet, know nothing, government worshiping pure slave, and you don't want to be completely informed, so you got banned. I didn't censor you. You're anti-VM, you're the enemy. Stay the fuck away from me. Stay the fuck away from VM. Especially with your stupid fake sock puppet names. A VM free slave name? That's your first, not actual name, not your first name. That is your, not your surname, your family name. Not your Christian name. That's your middle name in the lowercase family name form. It's your given name.
with a number attached. That's what a free slave name is. We're not going to have free slave names with, you know, Popcorn 23. You don't get to make up that name. It represents who you are, what you are, not the legal fiction version of you. That goes with a free slave name with a number attached. Hit it, 66.
World government began, one world order began. See? They had plenty of time to finish the New World Order from 1492 to 1945, Robbie Knight. It's completed. Ordos, Norbos, Ordos, Seclorum, and our New World Order is complete. If you don't read Latin on the back of the $1 not Rothschild, Federal Reserve, British Monarchy, Property, World, Vatican, Debt, Cred, Note, Loan, Bill, Continental dollar bill blown out in the inside job re-evolution for the colony of slaves.
Most farmers who couldn't read,
How are they gonna read it? Legalese when they can't read English, probably, right?
yeah. I'll see that happen.
I can read English. I know English. I don't know every word in English, but I know English. I use Grammarly. I get people telling me I can't type in English all the time. Well, you type a 3-word stupid phone tart speak to me, telling me you can't read over 9 words. All you gotta do is put Grammarly on it. It's still English, even though it's open, honest, legal-English-ease. I'm not speaking to you in opposite English, debt, contract, scam, word magic legalese. I'm showing you the difference between both languages at the same time. That means I type a lot more words wrong. I ain't typing 2 languages opposite of each other all at the same time in a sentence. Sort of makes my sentences longer. I don't just use a lot of words like adjectives, Robbie. Let's look at what the contract legalese states. These are addendums to the treaty of peace that began in 1763 and completed after they signed on to the Constitution. No one signed the Constitution. It's just a part of the contract of the world's Vatican constitutional debt contract scam. Not the New World Order on the way, constitutional Vatican debt contract scam. Right? These are addendums to the contract. When in the course, why is that course capitalized? It's capital C. Does that mean the federal government keeps us on course? Well, it's contractual. Anything contractual is federal, state, contractual. Vatican, debt, slave, contractual, actual, factual, anti-real, and anti-true. Like all legal fiction, you know, you can know the book of Moby Dick inside and out, but you don't know Moby Dick was a whale, was a real whale. Captain Ahab wasn't a real captain. He's a legal fiction type captain, only got the contract involved. Fictional captain. Since when is the word man a pronoun, Robbie 9? Let me put my glasses on. 54 years old. Can't believe I gotta use glasses. I can almost barely see it, but it's the fluorescent lighting that makes me not be able to see it. I want to get this down here. How do you have more than one truth? As many as you want? How many as you want to believe? All these truths, how many do you need? What's the lie and what's the truth? Oh, we got a bunch of truths.
Like you're constant stupid as free dumbs.
You read English. Look, why is that men not capitalized? Lowercase non-contractual men. Why is this one capitalized with contractual we the people with capital P men? This is contractual, Vatican, debt slave, federal men, not you.
Now I know what you believe. It's just, oh, they got cursive writing. This is just fancy writing, just like I used to believe.
Right, of the people, capital P, politician people. Abolish the old constitutional debt contract scam from the United Nations, form new government.
Well, of course they did. 1945.
Didn't quite abolish it, they just added on to the contract.
Not my opinion. Since when is my life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness? No guarantee there, Robbie Knight. Why is that federal? The federal government gives me those contractually for the holy pedophiles. Well, gives you actual life, like the life of a vehicle.
Not real life, not true life.
Lowercase l, the life of a Vatican debt slave with no contractual liberties left. You contracted all the way. That's from the Emergency War Powers anti-law. This is contractual policy of 1933. You contracted them all away. Now, Congress is legally, constitutionally, federally regulating them all away. You see. Can you see that in the fake news? Can you have contractual ownership of a machine gun? Robbie Knight. Well, not legally. I mean, you can have one, but illegally have one or legally have one in some cases. I guess the military legally has them, of course. So your, second contractual liberty has been banned right there. It's been banned where you can't have machine guns legally, constitutionally. Not because the Rothschilds had a printing press in their British monarchy castle that they paid rent on. Printing up free money out of thin air, like the post 9/11 Fed psyop has you believing.
The order of English peerage.
Okay, capital R rights right here.
Lords and barons aren't above the king in English order of
So be
peerage.
lowercase R rights, no contract.
They're barely above sirs.
There you go. This right here. I recently learned this in legalese. It's like a special parentheses. And you just don't see that in English. That's what I'm pointing out. If I can recall exactly what it was, I think it sets it apart from all the rest of the contract for some reason. I'm not guessing at that. That's an opinion. If I knew it, I would say I know it. But you see, this is like a special type of legalese parentheses right here, these two little dashes. And normally it's not two dashes. It's one long dash. I don't know how you would do that on a typewriter or anything. Or I still do that. I can't recall the information off the top of my head right now.
That one ends there, and it doesn't
And it's
start
called
back
something I
up.
don't
It
remember
does
either, Robbie.
all the way to
You
here or
don't
where?
see that in English. Because you're not reading English.
Here's where it starts.
So I know legalese. I don't know the definition of every English word definition. I don't know every legal term definition.
The
camera footage is bad,
Robbie Knight, the actual camera footage.
So you know you're not reading English.
What's happening?
Is that capital G government, like capital G God, contractual God in the Holy Roman Debt Contract Scam Bible? Actual church government contract.
Oh, that's the other broadcast.
50%. Precursor to every world Vatican constitutional debt contract scam in the world. I went and saw the Constitution in Washington, D.C., kind of on planet Earth. It's all framed up.
I lived in Washington, D.C. for about 2 years.
Well, what if we burned the Constitution, Robbie Knight?
I cleaned all the marble in the embassies.
No, I don't believe that at all. It wouldn't really matter at all because it wouldn't. Now we got words like shall, that means shall and shall not in legalese. So can't hardly agree to any contracts you're signing because yes means no sometimes, yes means yes, no means no sometimes it means yes. So yeah, shall or shall not. Must means may in legalese.
Shall not, shall be infringed.
Every capitalized, capitalist diminutive legal term in here has contractual legal authority and says just powers. That doesn't have any contractual legal authority because it's lowercase. Capitalist diminutive minima, not lowercase people, not lowercase r rights. It doesn't exist. URL, legal definition, lowercase r rights. So you know rights don't exist. We got camera footage on the background behind. What are we doing? Zip it in Zoom. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. British monarchy servant terms like sir, Mr., Ms., Mrs., Madam.
Pause it, yeah, Joe. 66.
In the Constitution.
When I say legalese is not English, it is written in English. Like you can read the Constitution and you can contractually stand under the formation of the three branches of government. But when it comes to, that's what they want you to see. They want you to read that. They know what it says in English, although it doesn't say anything in English. It's legalese. It's legally stating the terms of the contract in legalese, not English. So you can still read the contract. It's just not what you believe it says. What a comma means, comma and or, as one example, instead of comma, pause, go on reading. A natural born U.S. citizen, that is a legalese oxymoron. You're a contracted U.S. citizen. You're not naturally, the word natural should be the natural order of things, not the legal fiction anti-natural, supernatural order of things of the Vatican. It says natural born citizen, comma, or 14-year resident. So Obama was a 14-year resident. He was a constitutional presidential teleprompter reader. Nothing unconstitutional or illegal. They don't really violate the law, the politicians. You just don't know there isn't any law, and you don't know legalese. Hit it, 66.
Constitutional Republic, United States of Iran, Sharia capital L letter law, contractually stands under the British monarchy common law legal system, not common law lowercase, which contractually stands under.
During this cough, I meant to say under the Roman civil law, holy papal bullshit law, anti-law is what it contractually stands under in every courtroom on the earth and every courthouse building on earth
Okay, look at that, Robbie.
in court in the world.
Mic button, mute button.
I correct myself all the time.
It says a $27,000 mute button. I have a little coronavirus from all the Pall Mall cigarettes I smoked. Or menthols, Robbie. I happened in there. Remember last time I did that?
Of course, that'd make those illegal.
I hit the button and it didn't work. I think my mouse is messed up. So I had the cough go out on air. Then I hit the mute button and did another hour show. Practice show live. It was silent. Remember that? Yeah. That wasn't any good, Robbie. That wasn't very good broadcasting there.
That was some actual crappy broadcasting.
Protect their federal safety and federal happiness, the federal prudence, the federal governments. Oh, evil. There's a word. There's a church word. Where's the separation of church and state?
Congress shall not make no law. They don't make laws, they pass statutes. So it's the truth. They shall make no law. They can't make lowercase law, lowercase L letter law. It's impossible to write law. People can't write law with lowercase l and be gods with lowercase g. Throw shall not in there. Hey, why not pass a policy, 501c3 after that, legally stating that Vatican debt slave Freemason scam churches are Roman debt free. So I thought they didn't pass a law wrong, right? No, they didn't make a lowercase l letter law, but they did pass a capital L letter statutory contractual Nazi policy law, anti-law. So they didn't lie. It wasn't even false. It's just unjustly, you believe you were reading English when you were reading legalese. English says things in English, legalese states things in legalese. There's a big difference there. Why is this right not capitalized? Well, it doesn't exist. That's why. It's not contractual. You weren't born with magical, mythical, lowercase r rights that can't exist. You were born with natural abilities. And believe it or not, they're not all equal. You know, some people are born without legs and arms. They're not equal, you know, in abilities. Are they less of a person, probably not, a contractual artificial person? Not according to statutory policy law. Can they run as fast as me with no legs? Yeah, they probably can. I would hope not, you know. Well, not for them. I don't hope that they could run. I wish they had legs.
If they do the same jobs as me, maybe they shouldn't be treated
There's a
equal.
magic word in court.
Maybe they should be treated like a little more fair than equal.
I don't know if it works, but it is a magic word in court they use.
Under the capital L letter law.
What else can we point out here? So men is not a pronoun in English. That tells you you're not reading English there. Can you see how obvious and open and honest legal-English-ease that is? Trying to ease you out of your opposite thinking, anti-thinking, and legal fiction, make-believing, all lies, including the politicians. If you're watching TV, why are you watching it if you know politicians are liars? You must like being lied to. Maybe you love being lied to. Maybe you love believing you can own things that can't be owned. And that right can exist when you contracted them all the way, when they're capital R rights. Contractual liberty is the scam only I justly, correctly, and truly named. If you can't see it, justly open your eyes and look around everywhere and all of the time. Vatican debt slave. When you go to your job, it's not a job. The job is finishing the house and getting a new house built. When you go to your federal employment, where you contractually registered and claimed your lowercase w wages to be federal income, you did that. The Rothschilds didn't do it. The Rockefellers didn't do it for you. You did it. Let's take the power back. Legal definition of authority in contracts, period. The delegation of power by one person, that means artificial person / federal corporation, to another, same. There you go. That's it. That's the legal definition of authority. By signing contracts. And the power doesn't come from the barrel of a individual defensive tool, lowercase g gun, right? It doesn't come from a registered and claimed by you federal property, federal firearm, legally classified as an offensive weapon by you. It comes from you signing contracts you can't read. Individually, one at a time. That's the Vatican, the scam, the plan. The VM plan, of course, is the exact opposite of that. One completely VM, completely informed VM, lowercase, the people who do VM.
to make VM go, move, begin to move, so it can't be stopped until VM constitutor information is known worldwide. Once the V-scam is known worldwide, that's capitalist dimension minimum of V-scam, a non-contractual bus scam. Like any other scam, once it even begins to become known. Like the Nigerian prince scam on the internet. Most people have heard of that. Not everyone has. But enough people have, they probably stopped doing the Nigerian prince scam on the internet. If you don't know what that is, well, good luck. Don't give any money to people calling themselves the king's son of Nigeria. You don't have to know any more than that, just don't do it. Don't give any anti-legal fiction Vatican anti-money to them. Safeguard yourself for that. Now, I apologize. This is just a lapse in.
I think I am remembering it right, Robbie. I just can't say.
Those are parentheses.
I know it. I'm sure I got it right.
Exactly what.
Or correct. Not right. Wrong.
And I claim to be completely informed in legalese. This is something I recently ran across, and it didn't quite download into my ultimate memory banks, Robbie 9, so I can recall it immediately. Like you got. Why don't you recall it for me? Check my life files. I know you won't do that because you think I'm getting Alzheimer's.
Hold it. G.I. Joe 66. I'm blanking out. Hit it.
I'll get it, Robbie 9. If memory serves, that means it's kind of outside the contract part of the parentheses in there for some reason. But don't take my word on that. Look it up. I don't know where you find it. I forget what they call it too. It's something. Something not English. I know that.
Okay, hold it. When you start to, I'm going to say, see through legalese, when you begin to see, I can tell you, you can't use the word truth. It's a legal term. Say true or false. Don't say the truth. If I corrected you on that, I wouldn't know where you are in what you say. Legalese will cause you to lie when you're saying very normal things. Here's an example. Hold on a minute, I'm going in my house, grab my hat, and then we can leave. Well, you can't own things, you just lied. You unjustly lied. There's a word that I keep using. I could switch it to simply, or I could leave the word out, just, unjust, or justly. Now let me say the same thing without lying. It's cold, I'm going in to grab a hat, and we can go. Now, if legalese doesn't change your speech, you're not getting it. And I'll know you're not getting it. And it's the first thing I see in everyone's program, pure slave speak, that I truth or fail auto-correct. Perfectly wrong by myself, because then it's my opinion and I just look like somebody going around like a grammar Nazi. That's not what I'm doing. Hit 66.
Every colony is a slave colony. That's where the name colony comes from. So they call us the colonists. Gee, wonder why no one noticed that but me. Now, why is this laws and not lowercase L letter laws? Well, that's contractual policy law. Statutory law, like murder, is a contractual policy violation only after conviction. Oh, why is this legal and constitutional? Killing, the English word, murder, a contractual policy violation after a conviction. If OJ not actually contractually, factually killed him, Robbie, not truly killed him, because he's probably lying, somebody would kill him. If OJ really killed Ron and Nicole, then he constitutionally, legally killed them. He didn't break the law or get away with breaking the law that doesn't exist. He didn't get away with murder. There was no conviction. It was a legal constitutional killing, even if he did. I know it's wrong, Robbie Knight. Well, right and wrong, those are also societal norms. He knows what she did making that mad, but I'm not justifying it, but still. People don't go around killing people for no reason usually. Maybe he was just a jealous idiot. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not living around OJ. I couldn't, it's not my job.
I did live in Los Angeles then.
I'm not saying it was right or wrong. It's probably pretty bloody though. Very civil and bloody the way he did it. If he did. Which Mark Berman planted a glove on the opposite side of the fence to frame him. Shouldn't matter if he did it or not. You got criminal activity by the policy enforcer. He should take the punishment of the criminal times 3 for doing that. Jay should be free to go kill some more people until he goes to prison for murder, if convicted. Anyway, I don't have to go down the entire part of the contract here, but launch a URL, the first U.S. Army that began in 1775, and they've had the entire time, even though we're told, I don't see it in a contract anywhere, the founding federal Freemason, I won't use the other F word I use on the show, had a standing army the entire time, even though they were against it. So they had slaves too, but they didn't legally rape them, Robbie Knight, because it wasn't a contractual policy violation of their property. They forcibly had sex with young children, slaves, without their consent, without their approval. These are the words. Just like the Romans did.
Unjustly like.
So when you're crying about Jews, the Jews, which were not Hebrews from Africa, those were mixed Roman soldier Hebrews. Biologically, to make them more Roman. Just like Thomas Jefferson made some of his house slaves more white so they could be the house slaves. Nazi socialist Thomas Jefferson. Of course, they were against it, having slaves, when they had all the contractual liberties and uncontracted away when they were the founding Freemasons, Robbie Knight. Of course, they were against slavery, though. That's why they didn't put it in the contract that you can't own slaves or have contractual ownership of slaves, since things can't be owned. Not even a cloud of dirt can be owned, Robbie Knight.
Federal Reserve banking system can't be privately owned.
Real people that you can't be owned. It's kind of important that you should know that a cloud of dirt can't be owned. So you're not owned. You're registered and claimed, not owned. You did it. No one else did it. It's kind of important shit. I mean, if you're a truth seeker and all, those are some pretty big lies you're still buying into, that you can own things, that rights exist, and that murder is not against the law. Well, murder is not against the law. Your belief is that law exists so people can be your guys. As per the Treaty of Peace, it's really holy pedophile, world, Vatican death slave and extermination, end of days, world population control Nazi policy that you believe is law for your God government. Capital G God, capital G government. Contractual capital G God, contractual capital G government. Voluntary G God, voluntary G government. And there goes your sport about trying to the government to get good crops. Of course, you get good crops if you vote harder, Robbie Knight. If you vote real hard, you're getting good crops from the government. Just the way it is. Depends on how hard you vote. The harder you vote, the more crops you get, the better crops. Now, I wonder who wrote this list of stuff that the king does bad to the slaves. Now they broke away with the independent contractor agreement. They didn't break away from anything. Separation of church and state. How do you separate something that is not the same thing in the first place?
Was there a separation? Your taxes, the real world, contractual, legal fiction, the Vatican debt.
As per the legal definition of constitutor,
As per Treaty of Peace. I don't see much separation there, Robbie Knight. The church is the state. The Catholic Church is the world, federal, state, and corporate being. You are the general federal agents contracted. Not the special federal agents with extra liberties and badges and guns. You're the general worker slaves in the federal union.
I like to say federal real fast and government real fast.
stop believing everything if you want to attempt to try to want to know a thing in legal fiction.
Especially everything you were sold after 9/11. You idiots are crying about Jews. At least the sheep are at least still blaming half of these scam, these state government politicians, Democrats or Republicans, while you're all crying about dead Jews. Jews came from Judea. Roman conquered federal slave state of Judea ceased to exist in 135 AD.
Religiosity.
Nationality, which should be called contractual Vatican debt slave federality.
Not a lowercase n nation like a tribe of Indians. And genealogy.
Those are three entirely separate things.
You can claim to be a follower of Judaism.
Roman Judaism.
That does not mean every so-called Jewish woman has only had sex with
A Jewish man her entire life and only had offspring of the Jews.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Right? You know that's not going to happen. You know that didn't happen.
It's impossible for that to happen since 135 AD. You can claim to be a Christian. Did you sell everything that you have that you can't own and give all the money away to the poor yet so you can be a follower of Jesus?
Or are you an anti-Jesus? Christ means oil in Latin.
Are you an oil follower or a Jesus follower?
Are you a Vatican debt slave? Procreated anti-Jesus.
Mark of the beast, Jesus.
Scam my name.
Can you be perfect like Jesus, or do you have to lie, cheat, and scam?
Get easy forgiveness from your capital G God government in the flaming sky.
So you don't freeze in hell with Satan.
Magic can't be real or true.
Hold it,
Don't
yeah,
really pull
66.
rabbits out of the hat at the Met.
I'm saying we can be perfect as VM. I'm saying the first VM army has to be perfect, so it can be copied. Every copy of the original will become less of the original. So the first VM army has to be perfect. By yourself, that's not real easy. I sometimes type whole paragraphs at light speed, and I will use the improper, incorrect word like TO instead of TOO. I know TOO means also, and if someone doesn't correct that, like I don't want to correct marc27, he's going to yell at me. I wouldn't yell at you. Thank you for correcting me. I don't want it there misspelled, making you look stupid, even if it's only me and not Team VM. So as Team VM, there being corrections. We're not saying, hey, you're wrong, you're dumb. It's just we need to correct that so that we, do this perfectly, so it can be copied by the VM Army 27 strong, the second faction. Everyone has to become a VM speaker and be completely informed for the next VM Army. Hopefully we'll get to 27 people eventually. Then hopefully we'll have another 27 in line that somebody else is going to have to take over being Tyler Durden. What I want from VM is to
sink back in the shadows. Is Tyler Durden, and I might use a sock puppet name at some point where no one will know it's me in their faction of the VM Army. I'll just try to be the best VM Army soldier, boss soldier I can be in that VM Army. I don't know how this guy is speaking like me, but I don't think that'll matter. It won't legally matter. At least not while I'm still alive. Hopefully it won't mean anything to other people. Maybe they're like, wow, this Joe 9, he types a lot like marc27. I don't want you copying exactly what I do. Conformity doesn't mean uniformity in the sense that I want robots, sock puppets to do everything exactly like I do. I want everybody to be different in this, but you have to be on the same page. Look at the 9/11 truth movement. The reason they called it the truth movement is it's not true. It's the government version of the truth. It's giving you a scapegoat to hunt. We got Bigfoot researchers and flat earther researchers, general truthers. We want to find the truth on if the earth is round like the moon. We're going to do a show for fun, maybe right after this one, on flat earthers. 9/11 was an inside job. It wasn't a few bad apples hijacking our constitutional debt contract scam we individually procreated. Nothing illegal or unconstitutional was done on 9/11 because only, some retarded Muslims they stuck in the prison. And who knows if they did or not. Maybe they were paid feds that didn't go to prison. We don't know what they do at this level. Since no one was convicted, it was constitutional and legal. It was a constitutional and legal world constitutional Vatican debt contract scam fed psyop. Not an inside job. So every phrase you're given, let's contractualize freedom. Probably not, like scamming Alex Jones does it. Let's legalize freedom. That's contractualize it. Vatican monopolize it. Freedom, kingdom, kings dominated by the Vatican, free dominated by the kingdom ships. Get the ship together, people. Stop being artificial persons.
Magic trick show, Robbie Knight. The magic trick is that hats over a table with a hole in it, and the bunnies are in the table with black cloth over it, and they sort of appear to the little kid to come out of the hat.
Just like you magically appear in court.
They're not pulling 10 rabbits out of one top hat, Robbie Knight. There's not enough room for 10 rabbits in one top hat. I don't care what it looks like. There's not enough room.
This might become the most
So I'm not trying to explain
important
what
VM meme
mistakes
right here,
means.
Robbie 9.
That's not the objective of what knowing the scam and knowing legalese. In order to sell people, you got scammed by the scam. That's what VM does. You got scammed by the post 9/11 event psyop. You get scammed today and you run the scam on your offspring voluntarily. VM constitute information against the move that I can't sell for free. I couldn't pay people to take as a gift. It's so opposite of what they've been programmed to believe. But as soon as VM ends with 2 to make 3, VM becomes easy as 1, 2, 3. 3, 6, 9. 3, 9, 18, 27.
max limit of every BMRE is 27. 30 is free waiting to get in. You have 33, you have a chat room, not an action taking room. 27 times 27 times 27 endlessly. That's the BM plan. Constant BM recruitment. Phishing for real people. Using a not private, individual IM. There used to be group IMs at Facebook. I think they disappeared. They showed up right after I started talking about BMSS, secondary screens. About 2 weeks after I started saying that, they came up with group IMs. Now, if you try to get a group IM going at Facebook, ding, 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 everybody leaves because they're not on the internet. They have the internet in their pocket on a smartphone that bugs them. See, I'm looking at the internet and I'm on the internet. I'm not on a smartphone. So I can see why they got rid of them because, you know, everybody left the room as soon as they figured out they were in a group IM. I've seen it many times. But this chat at VMTV could be the more might have to be. Since I can't stay in banned from Facebook for 10 days of what, 4 months now, 4 30-day bans. Not much to say in 10 days, Robbie Knight, not as a team. As a team, I can't be silenced. BM only speaks of the same things. The scam note. URL, legal definition of content.
These people that block you and run away, when we're all on the same page, they can't do that to you.
List of World Vatican constitutional debt contract scams and compare that with the United Nations World Government List. URL shall not mean shall legalese. Then, as a bonus link, onto the 4 horseman links, legal definition of authority. So you know you run the scam and take all your power back. One completely informed BM at a time. Who knows the scam? Who knows legalese? Who knows the system of BM? Because you're not selling this information for free by yourself. I've been trying it for 6 long years. If it was easy, BM would be going worldwide already. No one can do it better than me because I uncovered this information. I could call it my information, knowing that not a cloud third can be on it. It's not mine. It's BM constitutor information. For a worldwide, completely informed BM, verbal militia, nonviolent, speaking army. Team of teams. When the terrorists tell me what they can't defend right after 9/11, like Tom Rich did, Homeland Security chief of the nation. One thing we can't defend is individual cells all acting on their own. No central leadership or command necessary to carry out individual attacks, all with the same plan. The BM plan. What is your completely informed marc27's BM plan to start the first actual, real, and true fight for contractual freedom from the scam I named? For the rest of the artificial person world to either see or shall not be. What do you see? Shall mean shall not in legalese. Are you going to be the one that makes people see these scam I named, or are you going to remain blind? This message does come from the Bible. It's not my message. It says in the Bible you need 12 people to sell your message.
I already had me, myself, and I, capital I, an extra lowercase I, pre-slave. I, love buying for me. Mark27 is my pre-slave name. Completely informed, with the number attached. So their mark of the beast numbers can't stick on us. Individually, it has no power. Everyone VM is a free slave name with a number attached. Lowercase, non-contractual. Oh, I got a sock puppet. You're a sock puppet. You're no good for VM. You're terrible at what you do online. Go cry about you somewhere else. Stupid slave. We don't need any fake ass sock puppets in VM. Believe me, we don't. He's calling me out for not knowing anything, Robbie. He doesn't know a fucking thing. Get out of here if you're a slave. I'll be calling him out right now, Robbie. Let's just say, never tried to use this before, but get out of here.
Wonder where Picky Slims is. Wait till you hear the moderator rules I got for him, Robbie Knight.
Anti-VM here.
The moderator law.
On this.
He's got it enforced. With capital L.
It gonna work.
VM law.
There he goes. Now you can't talk to your sock puppet pure slave speak, mate. I'm showing you everything, you stupid pure slave. You absolute stupid, completed retard, pure, true slave. Stay the fuck away from VM, VMTV, pure slave. Stay the fuck away from me. I believe your message because you have no message, you idiotic, government worshiping, know nothing, pure slave. Sock puppet. The lamest thing anyone can do online.
When I speak in fourth person with Robbie 9, that's under my actual name.
Nothing to hide, open and honest and free. That's a team. And if you don't have the fucking common sense to rub together, the Robbie 9 is made. Like that one lady, remember Robbie 9? Asked me to filter a robot like you, talk to her and chat. I should have said, yeah, sure, just send me 900 bags of decorating. I'll show you how to do it in no time. Just sign, your name, whatever you want. That sign like Judy 23 or something for your robot. I don't know.
Don't forget to go beep.
900 bags of decorating. Maybe I would have got one of them to do it. Maybe a bunch of people would have done it right. I could be a billionaire on the internet. No one would still know a fucking thing. I was wondering who was chatting up the storm like a pure slave in there. It's that idiot sock puppet. What a stupid ass. See you later, stupid. Get back to your flat earth bed psyop or whatever the fuck you do. Up buying 4D scam my name.
Mother Nature writes the common law legal system.
Pointed out the difference.
Groups, government worship groups.
Pretty well. The Declaration of Independent Contractor Agreement. Let's show this stupid pure slave who I am first. You dumbass pure slave. Keep your ass away from VMTV. Get you another sock puppet name, idiot.
I'm showing them what I am. Normally, and I don't like to use the word normal, but I only speak in other people's comments. Lately, that's changed. It's like,
Really, actually, truly.
that's what gets me banned, Robbie 9.
He was a tennis player, I copied his game. We said it couldn't be done. So
Because it's only me, though.
overnight.
If it was a team,
basically.
that wouldn't happen.
I want to say, I want to go where she says fuck off to me. It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I even left her a message. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I'm not I'm not a companion. That's not what I'm on the internet for. Sorry about that. Love is the law. And, yeah, of course I got a plan.
Of course I did.
Should we just stop and start following the government
Yeah,
worship
we're
Q-Tard plan, Robbie and I?
I'm
Should
the
be a
neighbor
part
of
of
the
the team.
scam. I'm the neighbor of the post 9/11. Your guys' government still fed PSYOP. Conspiracy theory scapegoat hunt. The inventor of open, honest, legal-English-ease. So you know why you're being scammed by these scams and the trick of legalese.
Let's pause it.
The neighbor of the con, the neighbor of the lie, and the neighbor of the trick of legalese.
That's on your screen right now.
Then
The term conspiracy theories, they always make it more than one. Conspiracy is a contractual policy violation. So without a conviction, that is a theory. You can't prove a theory. You can prove it scientifically in theoretical science. Doesn't mean it's true. You're making a false claim when you say you're a conspiracy theory person. Because there was no conviction. No U.S. politician was convicted for 9/11, yet they all went along with it. Even Roman Ron Paul, the seller of contractual liberty, Fox News analyst now, probably making more money, more Vatican debt credits now than he was in Congress. Roman Ron Paul's son Rand Paul pushing the personhood in the womb bill. Now, is it wrong that they constitutionally legally kill babies in the womb, Robbie 9, because they can't sign contracts and don't have any contractual liberties? It's wrong with federal commerce. If you want to do that yourself, I don't know if I have a problem with that. There'd be a lot less death in the world all around the planet if that was the case. I saw some federal TV programming today. The new justice is supposed to get Roe versus Wade back on the books or whatever the agenda to be. It's not repealed. They didn't do anything. They just decided babies can't sign contracts in the womb. Not unconstitutional. That's a double negative in English. See, they're not using English when they speak to you either. Neither are the policy enforcers on the street. You understand what I'm saying? Do I contractually stand under the contract I didn't know I signed? It's written, it shall not mean shall legalese, that no one should sign because it's a one-sided, open-ended, third-party Vatican debt contract scam policy? Enforcer? Don't try to put your black hat on me. Mine's black, but it's white. It's the Lone Ranger hat that I wear. Don't try to make me the bad guy. If you know legalese, you have a little bit of, power in your speech. Depends. Sometimes I just go, here's my social security number, go away. I don't want to tell them to be scammed like I did that one day. All of it. Because of anti-friends' lies. And their lies. Claiming I stole the backpack I can't own that I legally purchased at Walmart some 3 years before. And constitutionally had possession of, right? So they could look inside of it. Of course, they didn't find anything because I'm not retarded. I'm not governmentally retarded. I think in actuality works now. I know I don't have rights. You better not be pretending you have rights with the cops when you don't.
neighbor of anti-thinking and legal fiction make-believe. That's what you do when you believe all lies that you think you're reading English. You believe you're reading English when you're reading legalese. They're not all lies to me, they're the truth. The truth is what you swear to your God government to tell in court. And the whole truth, nothing but the truth, would be the policy enforcer's version of the truth, not yours. You see, that's the big difference there.
That's why I banned the word the truth.
Look up the word truth. What you believe, based on legal fact. Look up the word fact. Same thing in a newspaper.
Christopher Columbus discovering America with 10 million people here that found it first. Legal fact, and it's the truth. It's not true. It's anti-real and anti-true, but that's why they call it the truth movement after 9/11. Pay attention, your slaves. Might end up actually wishing you could want to know a thing in legal fiction, which I can't do. It's legal fiction. How can you know a thing about fiction, Robbie Knight, except for it doesn't exist? I do know that about legal fiction. It can't exist. That's pretty easy. Pretty much pure common sense, too. It's legal fiction, can't exist. Tell you that, Robbie Knight? Well, everyone knew that. That it was contractual legal fiction. Vatican debt. They can only anti-buy things with their anti-money. Registered claim they can't even have, much less own. Like their offspring that can go away with the government gods and they come reclaim your claim federal property child you procreated from a little baby, a little innocent baby. So I'll say it again. It's what drives me. And the weight of every unborn, not yet contracted little baby boy and little baby girl, not yet sacrificed contractually into the world. The weight of those babies should be crushing me by now. Each and every day. I feel it only strengthens me. By myself, I'm impotent, useless, futile, fruitless. Still knowing all along that the beginning of the end is the end of the scam. Once the end, it's off, we're shooting this rocket down. I made it perfectly this time. First one was off course, and I'm glad it got shot down. VM took off like a rocket with 50 VM strong, not knowing a fucking thing. That was my fault. I wasn't completely informed yet. Therefore, I was completely brainwashed and totally clueless still. You don't get a somewhat informed. You don't get to choose that.
Every VM meme has a URL, treaty of peace, legal definition, and constitutor in gold font at the top. Since they don't fit, Robbie 9, this won't fit.
The day I became completely informed instead of completely brainwashed.
And a VM banner at the bottom.
Now, who am I, the constitutor that slave of treaty of peace? The Holy Roman Empire, not the Rothschilds. That was over 6 long years ago. VM is Fight Club. I am Tyler Garden. One of you may have just found the porch. This conversation is now over. Robbie.
That's me.
Robbie 9. Go ahead, now we're going to enter that. Oh, buddy, over. Okay, Robbie 9. Thanks for coming in.
All right, let's wrap it up. I am the Truth Finder. VM is Fight Club, and this conversation is over.